This is DDS. From the DDS studios, we are your hosts, Blake Melton and Bradley Newberry. Newberry, we talked about it the other day. Good Lord. Is there anything good going on in the world today when it comes to the NFL? Or is this, as they call it, the National Felons League?
If you're in the news, it's usually not good. We touched on that. But we thank you guys for joining us today. Today is Tuesday, June 28th. And as we all wait on the results of Deshaun Watson, there has been a story that's been kind of buried this summer.
Yeah.
This entire offseason of the NFL. Absolutely.
And you know what, though? Before we get into that, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button down there below for us, guys. It is free. We're not going to bug you. We're not sending you stuff all the time. If you want notifications, hit that notification bell for us as well. Give us a rumble on Rumble. Follow us on all of our social media, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And you can find all the audio versions of all these podcasts on your favorite podcasting platforms, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and the like. Follow us there, guys. All right, Newberry, you teased it. Right. Let me hear it. What's been suppressed this whole time?
Today, we're going to talk about Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara played college football at the University of Tennessee. We are from Middle Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. You mean this guy? Savory looking fellow.
I can confirm that is Alvin Kamara. Now, Alvin Kamara was spotted this weekend at Nashville Motor Speedway.
Yeah.
Where we had a little racy race.
I heard him and MJ, right?
MJ was here.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara is used to wearing orange.
Yeah.
If you know where I'm going with this.
I see what you did there.
So let's take the good folks back to why. Why are we even talking about Alvin Kamara? Isn't the only story Deshaun Watson? No. I say it's not. Alvin Kamara, the evening before last year's Pro Bowl, he and his friends, his group, his boys,
his entourage,
having a great time in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, one may question, why is the game even there? Why is this exhibition even there?
That is my first question is who planned that out to put a bunch of,
the NFL
immature millionaires,
Roger Goodell,
in Sin City.
There were definitely some sins happening that night.
Yeah.
And all of this was, he and his little group wanted their private elevator. From what I read. His group gets on. Alvin Kamara gets on. Someone like me and you, there's still room on the elevator. I'm going to get on too. I don't, why not? It's just an elevator. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they don't know him from Adam. Potentially, right?
Alvin Kamara gives him the stiff arm to the chest.
I mean, first off, if somebody that I don't know who they are does that to me, my first reaction is,
and that's what happened.
SWAT.
The first reaction was the SWAT, and then the boys proceed to beat the holy hell out of this guy.
Holy shit.
And after he's unconscious, Alvin Kamara gets what he says are light hits in.
How many did he get? How many of these light hits did he get?
I mean, I've read anywhere from 3 to 8.
8?
It's like after you... It's not good.
This is bad. This is very bad. This is a bad look.
So this is the night before an exhibition game, aka the Pro Bowl. The Las Vegas authorities knew about this incident. They were in communication with Roger Goodell and the NFL security.
Is the night before?
The night before.
Wait. He played in the Pro Bowl.
He absolutely played in the Pro Bowl. He was.
They let a criminal play in the Pro Bowl.
Absolutely. They said since he was cooperative, that they would have the NFL security hold him for the Las Vegas authorities after the game. Because it was so important that his likeness was in an exhibition game.
What is going on? The NFL has such a huge image problem right now. I mean, I guess I completely glazed over with this. I mean, there's so much going on. There's so much going on with Deshaun Watson.
Correct.
That I didn't even think about this. I mean, this is battery assault, I'm assuming.
It is. It is battery resulting in what they call substantial injuries, including a fractured orbital bone. And in the state of Nevada, this could serve anywhere between 1 to 5 years in prison.
I mean, that's a career ender.
We're not talking about just
5 years is career ending.
Game, like little silly NFL games. We're talking about real life prison sentence.
So I think I found the image here. Now we've blurred it out because it's extremely graphic. YouTube, be nice. We've got to blur it out. This is the victim's face. We can't show you everything over here just because of how gruesome it is and the fact that his face looks like hamburger meat. This guy apparently just got the living shit beat out of him. We'll take that off there.
March 8th was the original court date, Blake. March 8th. And Alvin Kamara, Percy Harris, Darren Young, and later Chris Lamons, none of them showed up. Nope, they're not showing up to the court-appointed date, so it got pushed back to April 25th.
Okay,
and
like you do.
And what happened then?
Did not show up again?
There's video footage now. So now the defense says, wait. This footage came out right before the case. We got to take more time. So it's now been pushed off to August the 1st. And that puts you smack dab in the middle of training camp, preseason. The NFL and Roger Goodell, they don't like to make suspensions or bring down punishment to someone before they go through the courts. But intentionally, this seems like it keeps getting delayed.
With everything that's going on with Deshaun Watson, now this added on. I mean, I feel like they tried to sweep this under the rug because, I'm very torn. I mean, he's a former Tennessee guy, very beloved. He was kind of the teddy bear guy. He was eccentric, but no one ever thought of him as a troublemaker. And just because this happened doesn't necessarily, I guess, mean that he's a troublemaker. But this was a very, very poor judgment on his part. The fact that Roger Goodell and the NFL allowed him to play in the Pro Bowl, it's going to be interesting to see how both the Deshaun Watson situation and the Alvin Kamara situation are handled as far as, do they get commensurate punishments? I mean, like you said, fuck the NFL suspension. Kamara could be going away for 5 years and he's done. That's a bad situation. Very, very bad situation. It's a bad look for the NFL. This kind of stuff just continues to happen, it seems like, these days. I mean, you got Deshaun Watson, who's accused of all this sexual misconduct. And then now you've got Alvin Kamara making stupid. Is it Kamara? What do we decide?
I'm going to go Kamara.
Alvin Kamara is, making this terrible decision. His boys beat up the guy. Why did you have to get involved? Even though it was unnecessary for him to beat up anybody. But he didn't touch him up to that point, is my understanding, right?
He was already out.
So why do that?
He did the initial stiff arm. You can't get on my
If you think that you're doing anything in the city of Las Vegas that's not on camera,
yeah, right.
You're crazy.
You're
in a freaking elevator in a hotel. You better damn believe there's a freaking camera in that elevator, or at least at the opening. So stupid. I mean, and
if you want to link both of them together, Deshaun Watson, Alvin Kamara, and others, these are, more than they ever would realize, are completely blessed athletically. There are men and women alike that would die to have their athleticism.
Yeah.
And they're throwing away careers. They're throwing away their lives in some cases.
Yeah.
Because they just want to drink or they just want to have a night of fun. Stupid decision. Justin Blackmon, a first round draft pick of the Jags, completely threw it away because he couldn't stop drinking alcohol. He chose alcohol over what the Lord blessed him with his athleticism.
See, this is a whole nother discussion here, because that kind of stuff is exactly what frustrates me when I sit back and I look at the fact. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the people in the NFL, the players in the NFL are not worth what they're being paid. But what I'm saying is I think that it's quite an interesting study in psychology to watch what happens when you give, someone who is not really fully mentally developed, because we know now, the science says we're not fully mentally developed until we're 25. Most of these guys are not 25 when they enter the league. You're going to hand them huge checks worth millions of dollars, some of them tens of millions of dollars, and they're all of a sudden going to be able to do anything that they want as far as money goes, and they think they're untouchable. They grow up watching the movies, the Tony Montanas. They think they're untouchable. They think they can do whatever they want, beat the shit out of anybody that comes up to them, puts a finger in their face.
Yeah, just go away.
And that they could just throw money at it and be done.
No.
I mean, and it always, how much more stuff is going to happen in Las Vegas, specifically, before the NFL realizes it doesn't need to be there.
And I hate to remind my younger brother, Brandon, about Henry Ruggs with the stupid car incident and the senselessness behind that involved victims.
Yeah, it is just, sorry, I was trying to fix my mic.
I wanted to come on and at least us address this, because all the research we've been doing about Deshaun Watson and waiting, and then this is getting tied to it. I completely forgot about it. And I think it's worth mentioning that, look, it's not just Deshaun Watson. It's honestly not even just Deshaun Watson and Alvin Kamara. The NFL better wake up.
Any word on what the NFL's thinking?
No, it's all for later. I mean, we're sitting here
they're waiting and
Watson.
seeing.
I feel like they have kind of stack ranked it, if you will. They have Watson, which Parker has said, hey, that involves upwards of 24 cases or plain, and then you have Kamara with 1. So there could be a trickle down effect. I don't know. My thing is it's not just Deshaun Watson, and
it's an NFL problem. It's an epidemic within the NFL, for sure.
And we talked about how the Washington Commanders have a identity issue, but it's the entire league, honestly.
Little boys with a lot of money.
So
it's really what it's coming down to.
Alvin Kamara, you have played in the NFL 5 years. You have earned 5 Pro Bowls.
Yeah.
And now you may have just earned 5 years in prison. 5.
It's just so frustrating. So frustrating. Somebody that talented. I mean, you think about Deshaun Watson too. It's just like, God. I mean, I wouldn't talk to anybody. I wouldn't be around anybody. Be like, nobody talks to me directly. I mean, this is just asinine to think about this. So my thing is if you are convicted of a crime and you know that there is evidence out there, why is that every player that is convicted of a crime and has a court date should be indefinitely suspended until said court date? You start doing that, and some of these guys will stop doing some of this dumb shit and just say any freaking slip up that you have. If you have to go to court and you embarrass this league, you are suspended indefinitely until it's resolved. And then after that, we judge based on what the findings were by the judge, the actual judge in the court. It's absolutely ridiculous. We got kids out here looking up to these guys, and they're doing stupid shit like this. It's stuff like this that make me not want to let my son watch any professional sports. Don't look up to these guys. You never know when they're going to turn around and do something stupid. Absolutely ridiculous.
We have another channel for that.
Yeah, we do.
The Dad Code Podcast.
Everybody go check out the Dad Code Podcast. Go ahead and give us a like over there too, and a thumbs up, as well as a sub. Appreciate you guys.
We'll give you some.
But yeah, getting us really, really riled up here today. I mean, and that's not even. Let's not forget the fact that Deshaun Watson's. This is Tuesday. This is the day of his arbitration hearing.
It's supposed to be. We're waiting.
That could come down any moment. I mean, I'll keep refreshing here on Twitter, but I mean, it could come down literally while we're sitting here. It could come down.
And Matthew Parker is ready to react to it. So you'll probably see our lovely faces again later in the week, but just wanted to come on this quick show about, don't forget, it's not just Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
We wanted to call out Alvin Kamara, which seemed like a story that was trying to get brushed away under the pile.
Yeah, I think it was going to. But you know what? We're not going to let him get away with it. We're getting the word out.
We'll see you. Hope you like wearing orange, bud.
Oh, geez. Well, guys, thanks for joining us for this little session here, this little bitch session that we had here today. Sorry that it's always about something negative, but until there's something positive to report, we're not going to be able to do that for you. But we appreciate you guys tuning in. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button on the way out. Give us a rumble on Rumble. Check us out on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and check out all of our audio versions of the podcast on your favorite podcasting platform: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon, Stitcher, Spotify, and the like. We're there, guys. Newberry, final thoughts.
The sky is still blue.
My final thought is, shame on you, NFL. Do better. Be better men. Be the people that you want your kids to look up to. But, as always, two-tone blue all the way. You guys be well.